Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so. And together, we shall make our Biafran dream a reality. Say, corrupt cash and carry Supreme Court judges return bribe money given to them to support vote buying back to Tinubu, El-Rufai, and Ganduje because all the foreign visas issued to them and their families have been revoked by those nations. The corrupt judges' children have been ordered to leave their country of studies back to Nigeria, and some of their spouses on vacations were either denied entry or deported back to Nigeria. The cash and carry judges cries out that the Fulani Nigerian government, led by fake Buhari and the Fulani governors, have turned them into scapegoats. You know, because of love of money, they sold their conscience, and now they are reaping the fruit of their evil labor. According to reports, the Supreme Court on Wednesday said it would not allow the Fulani Nigerian government and the Fulani state governors and other southern governors of the Federation to turn the judiciary into a scapegoat in the legal battle and dispute that is currently trailing the ban on the use of 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira banknotes as valid legal tenders. Justice Iyan Okoro, who is heading a 7-man panel of the Apex Court, made the declaration while consolidating various suits that different states filed to halt the full implementation of the Naira swap policy that was recently introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The court had shortly before it stood down its proceeding to allow all the states it joined as interested parties in the matter to regularize their processes, bemoaned the fact that the dispute has placed the judiciary in the eye of the storm. However, on its part, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Injustice, Abubakar Malami, urged the Supreme Court to dismiss the case of the plaintiffs for want of competence. The preliminary objection that was moved by Mr. ÞİCANİ, the AGFs maintained that the Supreme Court lacked the requisite jurisdiction to entertain the dispute. Listing its ground for challenging powers of the Supreme Court to intervene in the matter, Malami accused the plaintiffs of opposing the Fulani Nigerian government's power through its agency, the Central Bank of Nigeria, to withdraw old banknotes and introduce new ones. My brothers and my sisters, you can see how the zoo called Nigeria works. There is no law, no rule of law. Nobody obeys rule of law. They do anything anyhow. You know, the thousands of PVC, that is the permanent voter's card, that were found inside the Nnewi forest in Anambra State by hunters. And this same thing happened all over Biafran states. Thousands were found in just one location. Imagine the other locations, because the Fulani Janjaweed wants to disenfranchise Biafrans from voting, especially Igbos. Because the Fulani Janjaweed and the Caliphate were shocked with the amount of turnout by Igbos. And they are afraid that it will expose the Nigerian population census figures as fraudulent and also derail the fraudulent Fulani selection process called Nigerian elections. Due to the use of VISAS, electronic transmission of votes, and Naira redesign that will cut down vote buying, the Fulani Nigerian government that thinks that they are smart, they think they are smart by promising the world free and fair election, but they resulted into voters' disenfranchisement and suppression by asking their Fulani-controlled INEC to control the amount of permanent voters' cards that will be given to Biafrans, especially the Igbos. And that is the reason why they threw out millions of voters' cards into the forests, so that the Igbos and Biafrans will not be able to vote in the elections. And that is why Biafra restoration is very important. Imagine if this was a Biafra referendum election. The Fulani Janjaweed would have manipulated it in their favor. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in his wisdom, begged the Fulani Nigerian government to allow a United Nations supervised Biafran referendum elections, instead of them to heed to the wise advice. Out of greed and hatred, they went and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. As if that was not enough, they tortured him and brought him back to Nigeria illegally. Even their court, all their courts set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. But the Fulani Nigerian government refused to obey their own courts because they did not get a favorable judgment. And they went ahead to still keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegally in the solitary confinement cell at the criminal DSS detention facility. That will come to an end. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video. And bye-bye for now.